Hey guys, Grateful Godfather here, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about how I missed out on a few $100,000 of profits on an alternative asset I decided to invest in over the last couple of years. Now, I do want to mention that I am just a godfather trying to help his goddaughter learn a few things about money and a few people along the way. In 2019, I decided to jump back into sports cards. It was all a craze at the time that people were starting to get crazy back into sports cards, and all of a sudden people were making a lot of money. So I had to see what it was about. I'm all about having a side hustle, and retail arbitrage was actually something that I was already familiar with. I would sell Funko Pops all the time, those little bobbleheads you see in the stores, and I thought I would try some sports cards. So, in going to the stores and buying these cards, opening them up, getting the rookie cards out of there, and reselling them, I was making great profits. And this just sparked more of an interest to deep dive into how the market was working on eBay and other areas, to seeing how the supply and demand was working for the sports card market. Now, remember, when there is a short amount of supply and a lot of demand, you are going to see prices skyrocket. So scarcity can equal very, very good profits. And in these cards, I then found a recent sale of a numbered, I started finding serial numbered cards, which means there's a stamp on them that says numbered out of 100, numbered out of 50, numbered out of 1,000. And I found these precious metal gems cards. And when I saw some of these auction houses selling some of these, you'd see things going into the $150,000 range for a Kobe card, $400,000, $500,000 going for a Jordan card. I mean, it was crazy, guys. I'd never seen these kind of numbers for cards before, and I just couldn't believe it. So I had to do more research, and I came to find out that I was not about to invest in any of those cards.
No, 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 no.
Because it was way out of my price range for my comfortability of even trying to do that. In my research of going through those cards, I came across Marvel cards. Yes! And Marvel is also a fan favorite of mine, and I like all the movies. I've just been a fan since a kid. So I still have my Marvel cards today from when I was a child. And I had found those cards and seen that there was a first year set in 2013 that Marvel Fleer Retro made the precious metal gems for the characters. And in my head, I was actually thinking that maybe a sports card collector one day is going to want to put their favorite Marvel Marvel character next to their favorite sports player and have it in their collection. So at the time, I was finding cards for a very cheap price. This is 2019, guys, 2020 when I was picking these up. And they were anywhere from $10 to $40, $70. I think the most I ever spent was about $140 on a card that was numbered out of 10. And the thing was, you didn't find all of them all the time. You know, they just weren't readily available. Like I said, they're serial numbered, so when they're out of 100 or out of 50 or out of 10, there's not always going to be these things available. And as I was buying these, you could then see that everyone was kind of chasing the cards. You could see that they were coming up all the time. So I got up to about 100 of them, close to 100. I want to say it was like 97 cards in total. And so I just kept buying them, thinking that one day, hey, maybe I'll grade a few of these, see what happens. It turns out they're very, very hard to grade because they're very sensitive on the front, being that they're metal. It's like a foil that's on the front. And then I was finding ones that were already graded, which were amazing. It's just, I just didn't want to put too much money into some of these cards. But back in 2021, I had purchased a perfect Gem Mint 10, green out of 10, only made, PMG card of Black Widow from the Avengers. And while I'm not a huge fan of the character myself growing up, I was more into like Hulk, Thor, Captain America, but I wanted to pick up this card just because it was a Gem Mint 10 and there was only one in that grade. So, and being that there was only 10 cards, I now have the scarcity. I just hope that there's a demand for the character. So I bought that card, $520 on eBay, plus shipping and tax, so I'm roughly about $580, something like that. And a year later, guys, like I said, all of a sudden, now, not even sports cards are just the craze, but these Marvel PMGs were a craze. A few wealthy guys, a few celebrities, some DJs, all of a sudden were trying to buy these cards. And while it was fun seeing all the cards skyrocket in price, it is actually more stressful than you think.
My God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
And in doing so, I was able to sell. I decided to put the card up because I saw these prices going like crazy for all these other cards. And I just had to test the market on seeing. I didn't want to put my favorite characters out just yet because these kind of cards, guys, when it happens like this, once you sell it, you're pretty much never going to get it again. Or at least that's how you think. So I put the Black Widow card up for sale on Golden Auctions, and in 2022, 1 year later from purchasing the card for the $580, I sold it for $28,800. And guys, that's almost a 5,000% increase. It's like 4,800 and something percent. And that just doesn't happen, guys. That's actually a huge red flag when you have something that happens so fast. It just, in the time, in the moment, you feel like you're the king of the hill. You feel like everything went the way you wanted to. You timed the market perfectly. And really, guys, if I could actually be honest, I would actually just say it was just pure luck. Now, I did have a strategy of buying the cards. Yes, that's true, but there's no way I would have thought in 1 year that would have happened. And luckily, I was even able to get some of the cards back that I sent in for grading to actually make some of these other sales. But what really happened is, once that sale happened for the Black Widow card, it just seemed like people started to release more and more of their cards, more and more of their collection. And what happens is, when you don't have enough big time buyers, guys that are really willing to spend the price to continue to buy these cards constantly, the prices can't keep up. So then people are feeling they're getting their prices at a real big discount because all of a sudden it dropped 10% in 1 month from the last auction. And when you start seeing that happen over and over again, the price decrease because people, like I said, the real big buyers don't have the money to keep spending and to keep the prices up. So they start to fall. And without enough demand and too much supply in the market, the prices will correct. So we see it in all markets. As soon as things hit the high peak, hit these high numbers, eventually there's going to be a humbling process that then trickles down. And at that point, you're then stuck holding the bag. And I still have about maybe 30 of those cards left over. And I wish I would have sold them. Absolutely, I'm selling them now, actually. And I still have great returns, guys. I'm still in like the 1,000th percentile return on the cards. So it is amazing. I just completely missed out on this huge gains. And just as an example, I know that same auction with the Black Widow card, a blue PSA 8 Captain America card, sold for about $23,000. I have the same card, but just Thor, and it's a PSA 8. And I would say the character reference, they're about neck and neck with likability, the popularity of the actual character. So I would say the card would go for roughly $20,000 to $23,000 if I would have sold it then. Today, maybe that card fetches $3,000 if I'm lucky. I don't know. I haven't put that card up yet for sale. But I would say that that's what would happen, guys. So I lost about $18,000. That's just on one card, not of the 30 that I still have left available. And guys, I just missed out on a ton of money on these cards and at least a few $100,000 by not selling fast enough. Now, at the time, I even had a gut feeling. I was talking with a few of my friends that also invested in some of these cards, and it's just hard, right? You just have all these money, all this kind of stuff, guys. Investing is very emotional because it's tied to money. And because it's tied to money, your relationship on how you see it, how your friends can influence how you think, all that stuff comes into play. But ultimately, no matter what, it was I take accountability, I take responsibility for not selling all of them at the time, not selling my best cards at the time to get the full profit. It is all my fault. And you have to realize that as an investor. There's going to be moments where you wish you took profits. There's going to be moments where you wish you invested. And all those things come into play. So really, guys, it was, yes, a strategy, but it was complete luck that I made that kind of money. And I'm very grateful for the education of it. I'm very grateful for the profits that I made in it. And I do wish that I made my mark and I was able to get that few $100,000 more, especially with how the economy is now. Everything is super expensive. I could have used that money, most definitely. And I'm sure everybody else could too. And I'm sure even most of these parents, if you are watching this, that there was a time when your kids just were crazy for Pokemon. I'm sure some of them are still crazy for Pokemon. And it's the same difference. That market went crazy as well. But things can't stay high forever. Even in the current stock market now. We've been hitting all-time highs throughout the year, and we're still having a great return for the year. But can things last forever? Can we always keep hitting the top? And guys, we just can't time the market. I know that doesn't happen. We just get lucky if we do. And realize that if you're at the highs and you want to take some profits, that's what you're feeling. Listen to your gut, take some profits. I'm not saying you have to sell it on everything. This is just my own experience. I'm trying to show you guys to help educate you how my experience was with this situation. And I hope you take it just as in the same reference for your rental properties or your stock that you have invested in. You know, just look at it all the same way, okay? Take your education, take your wins, take your losses. It's all part of the game, guys. Don't let it stress you out too much. Realize we have time to invest. I'm talking to all the younger crowd, okay? This is a marathon. This is about endurance. Don't let these things mess with you. Just keep pushing along and have fun. All right, guys? Till the next video. Thank you so much.